what he was doing. He was fucking a girl that he was prosecuting. During this time that he's dating her, fucking her, he tells her, "Don't worry, hon, I'll take care of you. You take care of me. I got friend judges in my pocket.
That's
In my
crazy.
pocket." So he goes on administrative leave. That following Monday, it hits the paper that he resigned, and the state's attorney, number one elected state's attorney, Weiss, makes a statement to both papers, the Herald News and the Patch, saying that he resigned because of a misconduct or whatever, and he's pushing to have his law license revoked. What
Well,
happens
so
then later on? Now Weiss takes my case. This guy never even looked at the file because he relied on his number two guy to do
right, right,
everything.
right.
So now he's handling my case. We go to court, and Judge Pilmer, the original Mr. Tomzak, none of this is viable. We're gonna fuck
Yeah.
your defendant because we're
Right,
fucking
right,
done.
right, right.
He says to us, "Oh, guess what? I'm moving courtrooms. I'm not handling your case anymore."
How convenient.
How convenient, right? After
Yeah,
Schlipka admits he has judges in his pocket. We
yeah,
get
yeah,
this
yeah.
judge. Let me tell you, this judge was God sent. God works at his own pace, right? Almost 4 years later, Judge Jody Gleason. What a judge. She's the judges you and I that know are honest judges. You knew right away she was an honest judge. Dude, this is where my case gets vindicated. We go to court. She looks at everything. There was like all these different motions that we motioned to the court to have heard.
Huh?
Judge Pilmer, they dragged it. They didn't want to hear any of the motions. Here we are almost
Right.
4.5 years later. This judge says, we're going to listen to all the motions tomorrow in one day. Go back to
Nice.
court. She says, this, nope, 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 nope. And then my attorney says, Judge Jody Gleason, Your Honor, here's some exculpatory evidence for you. Here is the in-car video policy that I tried handing to the other judge, and he refused it, saying that it wasn't exculpatory, that it wasn't viable. She looks at it, she goes, "Oh, really?" And she's like, she looks at it, she looks at the state's attorney. She then says, and then he says, there's a current Supreme Court case that is similar to my client's case that was just found and it was just heard. And she says, "Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with that case. Absolutely, Mr. Tomzak." She looks at the state's attorney and she says, "Why are there 4 charges of official misconduct?" He's like, "Well, I." She says, "Nope, nope, nope." She says, "Mr. State's attorney, you are responsible. You're going to have to prove everything's thrown out except for this charge. You're going to have to prove that he watched a locked video."
Yeah, yeah.
She knew it was all bullshit. We decided after watching her, the way she acted and everything, this judge is awesome. She is on the money. So we went to
Yeah,
go meet.
I wish I had your judge, man. Go
Oh
ahead.
man, dude, I was lucky with her because Pilmer would have nailed me to the wall. They would have convicted me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was part of the system.
Right. So we went and met in an office in a room, and we said, and we had my brother was there with me, he's a retired officer now, my twin brother. Um, I think Dave Jackson was there, or my best friend Oscar's detective. And we were there also with one of Tom Zach's fellow attorneys, and we were all there. And we said, "What do you think?" He said, "We should go with a bench trial. That'll throw the state's attorney for a loop." So we go up there and we say, "Your Honor, we want to move for a bench trial." She was like, "Oh, really? Okay. Did you fill out the waiver form to drop having a jury trial?" And the state's attorney's like, "Oh, really? I'll get the form for you." So we filled it out. She says, "Okay, we're going to set a trial date." Now, this was in October. We're going to set a trial date for 2 months from now. Let's set it for December 16th. She goes, "We'll set it for 2 days, but the way I see it, we're probably not going to need 1 day."
Nice.
I was like, "What the?" So we set it, she set it for December 16th, and she tells the state's attorney, "Mr. Weiss, you have to turn in your list of witnesses as well as you, Mr. Tomzak, real soon because we got 2 months till we go to trial." Okay. That day I found out that the state's attorney was so pissed off, he went to the Joliet Police Department and wanted all the general orders and policy. Would you believe that? How come he didn't know what was in that case? So here it goes. 2 months go by. We never get a list of witnesses. December 13th on a Friday, I'm working out in my man cave. As you can see back here, this is my man cave down here.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm working out, 4:30 in the afternoon, still hadn't received the witness list. So I'm thinking this asshole on Monday is going to go in there and try to nut my freaking trial date again for the 5th time and drag
Right,
it
right,
out.
right,
Now, mind you,
right.
we're coming up on over 4 years. You're supposed to call at 4 years. Either you're going to go to trial or you're dropping the shit.
Yeah.
30, I'm working out. I get a phone call from my attorney. Jeff says, "Hey, man, what's going on? How you doing, Butch?" I said, "Good. Let me take a guess." He goes, "Yep. We got to be in court on Monday at 9 in the morning, not 1 o'clock in the afternoon." So I didn't know he had all his attorneys and his paralegals on conference call, on speakerphone. And I'm like, I thought right away, they gonna fuck us again, right? They
Mhm.
all yell at the same time. It's because you've been vindicated.
Nice.
They said he sent us a letter vindicating you. But get this shit. The letter said, instead of saying they fucked up when he was wrong, the letter said, due to new evidence that was presented, new evidence. So the exculpatory evidence we tried giving him, and a Supreme Court ruling that I disagree with. I had to review all the evidence in your case and found that I could not try his case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, he knew it was bullshit.
But I found out that he had called in Chief Evans, along with the deputy chief, into his office 2 to 3 weeks before my trial and told them he had to vindicate me. So this asshole waited 3 weeks, made me sweat it out
Yeah,
before he
yeah,
vindicated me.
yeah.
Gets
That's
better.
crazy.
So now I'm vindicated. So that Monday, December 16th, I go in. The reporters are waiting outside. My family, my best friend, his wife, my mother, my brother, good friend Dave Jackson, the president of the JBPOA, who called me almost every day to make sure I was okay. We're all in court. Here comes in Weiss, like 10 minutes late, sits up in front of the courtroom, doesn't say a freaking word. My attorney goes up there, and the judge is like, wait a minute. Your trial's not till 1 o'clock. And my attorney says, Your Honor, the state's attorney has sent me a letter on Friday saying he's vindicating my client. And she was like, oh, really? Where's the form? So I can sign it. She looks at the state. She goes, is that true, Mr. State's attorney? He won't even open his mouth. He just shakes his head.
Crazy.
So the same asshole who wouldn't look at me this whole time now has egg on his face because he had to vindicate me. No balls. Come on, man.
So after you beat your charge, congratulations on beating the charge. That's a big victory for
Thank
all
you.
whistleblowers, right? Congratulations,
Yep.
and well deserved too, as well. And I know one of the worst parts is just sitting around waiting, not knowing what's happening, right?
It was
And
horrible.
those 3 weeks, I know it could seem like eternity, right? All the stress and all the worries that you and your family go do and all that stuff. Like he could have just called you up and be like, listen, this is what's going on. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry this happened to you. We apologize, blah, blah, and all this other stuff. And, then at least you know what's going on instead of keeping you in the dark, which the job has done to me for 10 years. All right. So it's a lot of mental stress. I know what you go through. Congratulations on that victory. Now, what else is happening? Like whatever happened with, the Juliet, the wrongful death case with the drugs and stuff, and whatever happened with that? Like, did they change department policy? Are they the officers held accountable for it? Also, do you have a lawsuit against them for putting you do all this?
Yeah. So getting to that. So here's before this. So when the new state's attorney took over, the number one guy after Schlifka was resigned. January of 2024. Yeah, January 2024. Before he vindicated me at the end of the year, he called my attorney and said he wanted me to take a plea on one felony.
The fuck out of here.
So I said to my friend Jeff, you know what? I hate to say this, and I said it bluntly. I said, you tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
attorney said, I can't do that, Butch. I'm your attorney. I advise against. I go, no, let him know that I said to go fuck himself.
Yeah. They try to do that to CYOA, so you can't sue them.
Yeah. So then I said, an innocent man doesn't plead guilty. So it's funny. When I was vindicated that day, a good guy, great reporter, the police hate him because he tells the truth. John Farrick of The Patch. So, I do Star Wars costuming, 501st Legion. I've been doing that for almost 27 years now.
Yeah,
Not
I
only
love it,
that,
man. I
but
seen it on Facebook. Yeah.
I also dress as 1989 Batman and also 66 Batman. So my attorney had told him that day, Batman don't plead guilty. So the article that day by Farrick says, Batman don't plead guilty.
Nice.
And I'm standing in front of the courthouse, and I think it's so funny because now I told my fellow cosplayers, I'm like, hey, I'm Batman. I'm official in the paper. That day, so when that happened, so now move on, I'm vindicated, right? And so later on, what happens now, this is what goes after this. So after this, I'm vindicated, and the officers involved never got charged. They got their 6 and 7 days off. Ooh, I'm sorry. So the week before I'm vindicated, the Attorney General, Kwame Raoul, actually came out with his investigation against the Joliet Police Department. He did a 3-year investigation on them because Odekirk asked about that, right? And in his investigation, if you look at it at the paper, I wish I had it with me right now to show you, They found that the Joliet Police Department is racist, did all kinds of stuff against minority people, all kinds of violations, right? The current mayor and the current chief acknowledged that and said, oh, no, but guess what? That was the department before.
So nobody's held accountable.
That was the department before. It's not that way anymore.
Oh, that's crazy.
The mayor
Yeah.
turns around and says, bullshit. They come out and in the paper and they say that the state's attorney's office, their investigation was inept. They only interviewed 100 officers. Well, guess what? They asked every single officer on the police department, if you want to talk to us about anything that you know on the police department, let us know. Only 100 officers came forward.
Right. And that's a lot. That's like one
Yeah.
third of your police department, right?
Yeah, and they investigated all kinds of reports by the citizens, all this crap that they did to people, and through everything they found that, yeah, they violated people's rights, pulled over people because of the color of their skin, beat people up for no reason, but yet their investigation is inept.
That's crazy. So
Currently,
nobody's held accountable for it. That's
no,
crazy.
currently they're still waiting because the city of Joliet is fighting the state's attorney, the attorney general's office, because they don't believe they should be held accountable. They don't believe there should be any kind of consent decree. Same bullshit. We're not going to take it. So right now, everything's still pending with that part of it. So that's one of the things that happened. Then later on, I put in, so here in Illinois, I don't know about New York. So you remember HR 218, right?
Yeah.
The Homeland
For your
Security Act, where police
for your gun
officers,
for your
when
gun license.
retired,
Yes. Mhm.
you can carry anywhere in the United States when you're a retired
Yep.
officer in good standing.
Right.
Here's the words I'm saying. In good standing, with at least 15 years on the job, I submit to the chief, Evans, a letter before I was vindicated about my retirement badge. He sends you back a letter because of your current state of being in court. When you're cleared of your charges, we submit your letter for your badge. So
Okay.
I was cleared, vindicated.
Mhm. All right.
December 24th, Christmas Eve of that year, I sent him a letter. Hey, I've been cleared. He doesn't respond to me for a month and a half. Not only that, but I gave him my IROC form. I gave it to somebody to give it to him, one of the deputy chiefs. IROC is for my concealed carry as a retired officer in Illinois. So once you sign off on that and you check on the bottom, left in good standing, there's just one box, check. Good standing, not good standing. You take that to the state police, you qualify, and every year you qualify to be able to carry as a retired officer. He did not send me anything back. I kept sending emails. Where is my IROC? Wouldn't respond, but responded the letter back for the badge, negative. He was not giving my retirement badge. This year, I resubmitted the IROC form because I could appeal it in 30 days. But since he never signed off on the first one and never gave me an email, I could resubmit it, right?
Right.
He replied right away, Javier, I just sent you your email, right? I get the email. It's filled out on the bottom, did not leave in good standing. You tell me
What?
this. Yeah. He gives me in 2022 when I retired, I get a letter saying that I did a great job of 28 years of
Right.
service as a
Right. That's your
police
good guy letter. Yeah.
out of your service and a
Right.
retirement ID, but
Right.
yet now I'm not in good standing when I was vindicated.
That's crazy.
So guess who got named in my lawsuit? Well, actually, he's named as a witness in there, but he's going to be. But anyways, we changed it because once he denied it. So what does that show? Still retaliating against me when he had no part in it.
Yeah. That's why all
He
these people gotta go. That's why
he
they
was
gotta clean house. They gotta go. You gotta hold people accountable, you know? So long
so
story short long story short, you went through all this, you beat your criminal cases, right? You have the State Department, appealing on the racism that they found in the investigation and stuff like that now, right? And then, even though you retired in good standing with your retirement ID and also your good guy letter that you got in 2022, they still refuse to give you your retirement ID and
no,
your firearm.
my retirement badge and my IROC.
Right. So you can't carry right now.
No, I can go and get a concealed carry permit, but the
Right. But
problem
no, I'm
is
saying they didn't give you your retirement credentials to carry.
right for carry as a retired police officer under HR 218. Right. So
Right. That's
I was
crazy.
advised not to go get my concealed carry because I earned the right as a honest police officer
Absolutely. Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
have an
So
IROC.
you have that lawsuit ongoing now too.
So yeah, so a year later, so all these clowns thought that nothing was going to happen. So a
Mhm.
year later, almost to the date of me being vindicated, my lawsuit hit. All the clowns, as I call them, Rochner, Reed, Agizio, Rosado, those are the four that were originally named as defendants in the lawsuit. There's more to come. We just did that so we can get it done and everything. We get it done and so forth, so we can get it to the feds in time. So I found out, so the Fraternal Order Police, so we have a supervisors union FOP, patrol officers FOP, and then we have our Fraternal Order Police Lodge, which everybody's a member. Every year the lodge holds a Christmas party. I found out that when I filed my lawsuit, all the clowns, all the players that did this crap to me did not show up to the Christmas party.
Of course not. Cowards.
Well, you know what? What did they do to me? I would have gone to, get this, each charge of official misconduct that went from 2 to 4, each charge carried 5 years in prison, 20 years in prison, $100,000 fine for each conviction, the loss of my pension. I'd have gone to jail because you know they put cops in jail right away. They
Yeah.
don't give up, a break for not
No,
having a
they put good cops in jail right away. Yeah.
right, exactly. You know what that's like, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So then I would have lost my driver's license. Now, how would I take care of my family?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I lost my house and everything.
Yeah.
How do I pay a job?
That's the financial retaliation part that I was talking about.
Yep, exactly.
So
And what you're going through.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was just fortunate. I mean, God carried me through all this, man, because I was really in a pickle for what they did to me. And what gets me is those officers that did this to me, they tried doing Mayor Bob Odenkirk 2 weeks after they did me. They all conspired. It's in the paper. I gotta send it to you. I think you're full. There you go. They conspired and met at Rochner's house. It's in the paper. And the former attorney for the city, I forgot what they call it, Inspector General of the city, did an investigation on it because the state police, they filed a false police report again saying that Odenkirk was blackmailing one of the city council members.
This is crazy. And to think your department compared to like the NYPD is a very small department, right? 480
The NYPD,
officers.
absolutely.
Right. NYPD is 30,000 deep.
I know. 10 times, well, shit, 10 times, not even that, 100 times. It's 100
Yeah.
times the size
It,
of our
it's
department.
it, it's so much more bigger, and the resources they have and the budget they have. It's like I think like $10 billion a year or something like that. It's crazy, right? The resources they spend on retaliation on these kind of things, vendettas and stuff like that, it's not cheap. Also, manpower and lawsuits, hours they put in and stuff, overtime and all this other stuff, just to retaliate against good officers, good acting people, right? And it's just crazy. It's like how many years you said it was 2020, so it's like 6 years now. Like 6 years later, like you're still fighting it. I
Yep, I'm
mean,
I'm I'm fighting for what they did to me, violating my constitutional rights,
right?
doing everything they did to me.
Yeah,
Those guys that lied on an official police report, Reed and Rochner, and everything they did to me, that's official misconduct.
yeah,
But you know
and
what,
and
though?
even like the mayor that looked out for you, he's getting retaliated against now,
He
and he's
did.
the mayor.
So
That's
get this.
crazy.
So they wound up having one of their boys, Mayor Darcy, the supervisors union pushed to have him run for mayor so that they can oust Odenkirk because of what he did by signing that letter to go to the attorney general's office. So the other guy won, and the other guy promised, get this, you're going to love this. He promised if he became mayor, all those guys involved in the shit they did with Lurie, that he would make sure they never went to federal court. Not only that, but he promised the female, the deputy chief that told me to watch the video when she was a sergeant, that she would be chief if he made mayor. So what they did to Odenkirk, they sent that letter, that fake report to the Illinois State Police to do the investigation. Not only that, they sent him a memory card, not a full phone, which they claim was evidence by that council member what Odenkirk was allegedly doing to him. They sent them only a card. So the state police were like, wait a minute. Where's the phone? No, we already looked at it. We're giving you the card. No, that phone should have never been touched. You know better. That's when the state police said, wait a minute, there's something wrong with this investigation. They brought in that council member, the former council member, and when they interviewed him, he spilled the beans about their little scheme to try to go after Odenkirk. So then the state police wanted to file charges against everybody involved in that scheme. Official misconduct. They take it to the Will County State's Attorney's Office. No, we're not charging anybody.
The system has to keep moving, right? Has to keep surviving.
So
But
every single one of them.
yes, like your battle is amazing. And like you said, it sounds like a movie. Like every whistleblower I speak to, is the tactics seem the same and stuff, right? So just to wrap it up, like the things that you went through are very similar from all the whistleblowers. What they go when they're retaliated against for speaking out. Doesn't matter like if it's like private company or like law enforcement and stuff like that. It's just that law enforcement has a lot more legal leverage because they're tied in with the DA's office. They're tied in with the judges and stuff, right? And it's all part of the same body. Like I say, it's all part of the same body. It's just the arm, the leg, the head, whatever, and they just want to preserve itself. And it's sad to see that you went through all this for 6 years, man. Like I've been going through it since 2013, and you've been going through it since 2020. It's crazy, man. But you have some victories on your belt, and that actually inspired me when you posted it up in the Facebook group and stuff, in the Lamplighter Project Facebook group, and I was like, "Wow, yes, there's hope."
There
There's hope.
is.
Like, you're doing God's work. It's like you're changing the system, and hopefully everything works out. The truth will always come out, and the truth will always reveal itself. You know, but
Does.
I just want to thank you. And do you have any advice for anyone who wants to speak out against a whistleblowing? Like, if you had to do it over, how would you do it if you had to change anything?
Well, one, if I would seeing what I know now, if I knew then what I know now, I think I wouldn't have changed what I did at all because I did the right thing. But I would give advice, which I did give advice to other officers from different places before after all this. If you're going to do the right thing, be prepared to be fighting for doing the right thing
Yeah,
because it's a hard choice. And I prayed on it and guy got my answer, but I knew what was going to happen. I had a feeling what was going to happen because we've seen it before. Look what happened to you. Like you said, you 2013. I knew your story already from before, and you've gone through a lot, and you're still fighting them.
yeah, I'm
And I
still
pray
fighting
for
it.
you all the
Yeah.
time because I want justice for you for what they did, and hopefully, with the new administration and new mayors or whatever's happening, hopefully they see what happened to you,
I
and
mean,
hopefully you get your
hopefully,
pension.
yeah, hopefully with this new mayor Mandami, and hopefully with Commissioner Tish, from what I hear is like, she's trying to clean house, and she didn't agree with the previous administration and corruption that was going on. Hopefully they see this, and they want to help out, and I'm more than happy to help out change the administration, because a lot of things that the new mayor is saying, like some people don't agree with it, but I think he's on the right track. With changing things, having like a public entity, civilian board, oversee the NYPD, like, show
Zero.
accountability for them and stuff like that, instead of cops investigating themselves, right? It just makes no sense to me. But yeah, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Great advice. My advice, I want to just add to that, is document everything.
That's
Document
it.
everything, and don't trust anybody, and don't expect any help from
And
anybody.
don't talk to anybody that you think is a friend because
Yeah,
everybody I thought was my close friends, including my classmates I went to the academy with, that every year we would get together for our anniversary and go eat somewhere or call each other. Not a single one of them backed me.
right.
So
Exactly.
not talk to if you know something that's wrong and you're thinking about doing the right thing, do not tell anybody anything because they
They
use
cut off
people
there.
they were gonna use
Yeah.
people against me that I talked to, I trusted, as witnesses against me,
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
tell anybody anything, so that's it.
Yeah, I would say document everything and drop logs everywhere, drop reports everywhere. But I would do it anonymously. Like if your department procedure says you have to report to internal affairs, I would drop an anonymous log, get that log number. I would drop one to the department investigations, inspector general, state attorney general's office. I would even go as far as dropping a log with FBI and stuff like that. But also
Exactly.
there's a lot of nonprofit organizations, right? So like the Government Accountability Project and whistleblowers. Like do your research online and get in contact with some nonprofit organization, and they could help represent you. Because the first thing you're going to need is a lawyer,
That's it. A
because
good
that's
one.
going to be the most expensive. Yeah, that's going to be the most expensive thing out of all this, right? They got unlimited resource tie you up in court, and you're going to need a lawyer. Try to get a nonprofit one, that's going to do a contingency or something like that. And also your local organizations that are fighting police corruption and stuff like that. Reach out to them and let them know. But
Not forget
thank you.
Tom Devine. I forget Tom Devine from the,
Yeah, Government Accountability Project. Tom Devine, he's
he was
excellent,
amazing.
excellent,
Yeah,
excellent.
amazing.
Yep.
And also, you said the lamplighters, they got a hold of me out of nowhere. I thought it was somebody trying to get information to screw
Yeah,
me.
me too. When they first reached out, they were like, "Oh, we work with Serpico," and I'm like, "Okay,"
Yeah,
and I thought it was a joke because that was when Serpico was first coming on Twitter and stuff, and I was like, "Is this a joke? Somebody's pretending to be Serpico?" And then, I talked to him and I was like, "Oh, this is the real thing," you know? So,
exactly.
yeah,
They were
yeah,
great, and they are there
yeah,
for every whistleblower, and they themselves are
yeah,
whistleblowers. I mean, I watched like you did before we go, I watched Serpico as a child, the movie, just like you did
yeah,
probably.
same thing, same
You're
thing.
like,
They
"Wow,
showed
that's"
me in the Academy, the movie. They
yeah,
showed me
and
in the
that's
Academy, the movie.
what I always wanted to be, that integrity, and I followed
Exactly.
that. This is my idol, and to be able to get the first Lamplighter Award, I never
Yeah,
expected this. I look at this
nice.
all the time, and Serpico's name is on there, on his "Keep the Lamps," basically burning, and I didn't want this if I didn't expect anything. And I tell you, it's an honor, and especially to be able to know Frank, talking to him, after all this, brother, just like you, hey, I'm honored. And let's for all the whistleblowers out there that want to do the right job. And but by the way, they say I'm not a whistleblower, just so you know. I'm not a whistleblower for what I did. We're
Yeah,
snitches.
they
So
yeah, we're rats and snitches,
yep,
yeah.
we're rats. For all the whistleblowers out there, officers that wanna do the right thing, just remember what happened to us will happen to you. It's the same playbook across the nation. Just remember, get a great attorney, look at all these whistleblower groups, especially when it comes to law enforcement, for help, and especially you need someone to talk to. Guys like us from the Lamplighters are there for each other.
Yeah. Yeah,
You have been.
I'll leave a link in the description for Government Accountability Project and, also all over my social media, and I'll leave a link for Lamplighters Facebook link. Reach out. If you want some advice, before you come out and you're trying to prevent it from happening to you, I would say that it's not preventable. They're gonna do it regardless, but at least you'll be prepared, right? Preparation is like key to winning your case. But, Javier, man, thank you, brother. Thank you for all you done. Thank you for coming on the show and sharing your story. And, I wish you the best, brother. You know what I mean?
Hey, thank you. You as well, brother. Hey, you going through the same thing, just in a different level, all of us,
Yeah,
and we
we
were there,
try.
brother, and that's what's great about it, brother. Whenever you want to talk, midnight, like you call it at night and stuff, it doesn't matter. I'm retired.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Well, I'm not retired, but I'm free now. But no, what I was gonna say is, we're here. We need to come together, us whistleblowers. A lot of us law enforcement and other whistleblowers, we tend to fight the battle by ourselves, right? But we definitely need to come together and we need to fight the battle together, as a unit. It's this way they can't say, "Oh, it's a disgruntled cop. It's just one isolated incident," stuff like that. No, it's happening across the nation. Later on this week, tomorrow, in fact, I'm interviewing another cop from LAPD. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's happening all over the world. We definitely need to fight this battle together.
Absolutely, man. All right, brother.
All
Be
right,
safe.
yeah,
Take
brother.
care. We'll
All
talk
right, man.
soon.
All right, peace and blessings.
All right. You